Nice thought to do a 100-year anniversary set, but execution, not so much.
Missed it by that much.
Hi guys, Geeju64 here, and today we're talking about the physical media releases for the month of November in the year 2023, otherwise known as the new release wall for the month of November. There are some pretty interesting things this month to talk about in this video. We've got some Steelbooks, we've got some 4K restorations, we've got some pretty interesting box sets coming out, as well as obviously a lot of new releases. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the video. First up is Witness is coming to 4K, the Harrison Ford film. I have not seen this one in such a long time. I remember it being aired on TV quite a bit back in the day. Have not seen it in probably about 15 years or so. It's an older movie. I'm glad it's getting a 4K release. We've also got Scrooged coming to 4K. I believe this is the first time it coming to 4K. A lot of people, this is one of their go-to Christmas movies. I was never really big on this movie. I've seen it a couple times. It was never one of my go-to Christmas movies, but again, a lot of people, this is their go-to for Christmas. So Scrooge getting 4K is great. It even says right on the box, first time on 4K. It's the 35th anniversary, guys. Now this one I'm pretty excited about. Monster Squad is coming to 4K, and I saw Monster Squad for the first time a couple years ago. It was an 80s movie. If you like Stranger Things and you've never seen Monster Squad, definitely check out Monster Squad. Again, it was actually filmed in the 80s. It's got a very interesting style to it. And I think it's weird that it's coming out in November. I don't know why they didn't try and get this out during the Halloween season. This probably should have been released back in October, but they didn't release it. But again, I'm glad this one's getting a 4K. Fargo is also getting a 4K release. This one is from Shout Factory, so it's going to be packed with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Barbarella's getting a 4K release, and this one I'm kind of surprised about. I mean, I know Barbarella's kind of a cult movie these days, but yeah, it just blows my mind that Barbarella's getting a 4K release when there are so many movies that haven't even made the jump from DVD to Blu-ray, and Barbarella gets a 4K release. The box looks pretty cool, though.
Cool. Cool.
From Arrow Video, we've got the Tremors 2 Aftershocks set. This is on 4K. They already released the first Tremors movie. I'm a big Tremors fan. I've got the Steelbook right here with 6 movies. Granted, most of these movies are not that great, but 1 through 3, and the first one in particular, the first one is just top tier. I love the first Tremors movie. And I kind of want to get this one. It's a little bit on the higher end. It is an Arrow Video release. If I wish I could track down the first one again. I didn't pick up the first one at the time when it was released. This art on this box matches the art that they used for the first film. So, who knows? Maybe they'll actually do a Tremors 3. A Barbarella getting a 4K and Tremors 2 Aftershocks getting a 4K. Like, these are movies I never thought I would see get 4K releases, but yeah, here they are. Trading Places is getting a 4K release as well. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, 40th anniversary, and I love how they actually put on here, because both this one and Scrooged are Paramount releases, and Paramount is putting first time on 4K Ultra HD for it. So that's always helpful. Hey, we have not had a 4K release. This is the first 4K release. So Trading Places, a pretty interesting comedy if you've never seen it.
What?
Interesting, I guess, is a pretty dumb way to put it for a comedy. Funny comedy if you've never seen it.
Move along.
This 2-pack Train to Busan and Peninsula on 4K on Amazon. It's only $28. That's a pretty good deal for a 2-pack 4K. A lot of people, or Train to Busan was kind of a across the pond, hit here in the U.S. A lot of people really liked it. I thought it was pretty good, definitely good zombie movies. I think at this point, kind of zombies are kind of played out. All these things come in phases. But Train to Busan, a lot of people are familiar with. But the sequel, Peninsula, is one that not as many people are familiar with. But you can get both of these on 4K on Amazon, $28. I think that's a great deal. So that kind of covers the 4K section. Let's go ahead and move into some Steelbook options, which obviously does include some basic 4Ks as well. But first up, we've got the Fugitive. It is coming to 4K. Again, I don't like the Warner Brothers throwing their 100-year anniversary on their boxes, but at least if they're going to do it, putting it on an older movie, I'm more okay with. So I don't necessarily mind this, but you know, it is what it is.
It's what it is.
The box is completely fine. Fugitive is a pretty good movie if you've never seen it, and it's one that I don't own, so I might actually pick this one up. And not only is it getting the basic 4K, which is here, it's also getting a steelbook, right? And here is the steelbook. And again, I think this is a pretty interesting steelbook. I love it when they use steelbooks to showcase art that is not necessarily the most mainstream, right? This looks like, you know, kind of a minimalist style. You know, obviously if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what this is from. And yeah, I actually like this one quite a bit. Steelbook is $34, so it's really on the high side. I mean, if you consider new release steelbooks that come out, you know, at Best Buy or range from, you know, $36 to $40. This one at $34. It's pretty high price. It's almost new release price for a brand new movie. So it's kind of high price. That's really the only downside for this one for me. And of course, we got American Graffiti, the 50th anniversary, coming to 4K. This is pretty much the biggest, the big opener, you know, mainstream success for George Lucas that kind of paved the way for him to have a shot to do Star Wars. And they actually talk about American Graffiti in several Star Wars documentaries. And it's actually a pretty good movie. I can't believe it's 50 years old. I own it right here on Blu-ray. I don't know if I'll necessarily upgrade, but if you've never seen American Graffiti, it is definitely worth a watch. Basic 4K has the same art that they used for the Blu-ray. Now, if you look at the Steelbook, though, it's got obviously completely different art here, and it's pretty interesting. I think it's a little bit overly busy for what I would expect from a Steelbook, so I'm not really super impressed with it. I like the idea that it does have Steelbook as an option, and they're asking $30 for it. Again, kind of on the high side, but not quite as much as what Fugitive was asking for $34. So I don't know, if you don't own American Graffiti, I guess for me, if I didn't already own it, I would just get the basic 4K because the Steelbook doesn't really speak to me all that much, but it is cool that the Steelbook is being offered. We also got Black Hawk Down coming to 4K as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this is the first time it is coming to 4K as well. The copy that I have of Black Hawk Down is one of the very early copies of the Blu-ray, so I'm pretty sure that this restoration or this 4K release is going to be better quality, picture quality than what the Blu-ray that I have here is. It's not a movie that I go back and revisit all that much, and I have spoken to several people who were there during the events of this in Mogadishu, so you know, it's just not one that I personally go back and watch a whole lot of. It is really good if you've never seen it, and obviously if you're into war movies, it's obviously a really good option. So you also get the Steelbook is coming out as well, and this one includes the theatrical and the extended versions of the film, and the, you know, the Steelbook's fine, I guess. You know, there's not really a whole lot you can really do with it, so I think this is just about as good as you can probably get out of a Steelbook for Black Hawk Down. And my copy here does not include the extended version of the film, so I guess that's an added incentive. If you have an older copy of Black Hawk Down like I do, it might be worth the upgrade to see the extended version of the film. I don't think I've ever seen the extended version, so I mean, maybe it's worth upgrading. I don't know.
You know nothing.
Violent Night is coming to 4K. This was kind of a surprise hit, you know, last year around Christmas time, and then they released the Blu-ray, but they did not release the 4K at the time. Now they're releasing the 4K, so that is coming out here. He wanted to wait, I guess, to Christmas to basically have a second physical media release. And, you know, cover's fine, but they're also having a Steelbook, which, again, the cover's kind of fine, I guess. Still haven't got around to seeing this one. I heard some things about it, but, you know, I didn't go to the theaters and see it. And by the time it came to physical media, I was like, I'll just wait till next Christmas to check it out. So that'll probably be the case with this one. We've also got Scarface getting a 4K Steelbook. And, you know, I've already got one of the Scarface Steelbooks right here. This is the Blu-ray release. So, again, I don't know if I'm really going to upgrade from the Blu-ray to the 4K. I think the Steelbook looks pretty cool. Is it an upgrade over the original? Perhaps. Perhaps. What do you guys think? Comment and let me know. Is this one better or is the other one better? Next up is a movie called Duel. Now, not too many people are familiar with this one unless you are a Spielberg fan. This was Spielberg's first film, and it was filmed for TV actually, but obviously it's been upgraded because of Steven Spielberg's significance to film. And I actually own the Blu-ray right here, have seen the movie. It's definitely worth a watch if you've never seen it. If you are a Spielberg fan, definitely need to check it out. You know, is the art better on this or the basic 4K? I don't know. There's really, again, this is one of those types of movies, there's not really a whole lot you can kind of do with it. There's a Steelbook that you can get. I'm not 100% sure where you can get this at. As far as where I've seen it, you can only get it through Groove, which is online, so I don't think this is going to come to stores or anything, and it's not a big mainstream steelbook. So, but it is getting a steelbook release, so that's kind of cool. And we got Rudy getting a steelbook release. This is the 30th anniversary of the film. They're asking $30 for it. Again, a little bit on the higher side. I already have Rudy right here, and I think you can, Rudy's been around for so long, and they printed so many Blu-rays. Like, you could get this thing in $5 bins for years and years, and that's one of the places I got it at. It's a really good movie. If you've never seen it, I've seen it multiple times. If you like sports movies, you more than likely have already seen it. Really good. I met Sean Astin as well, and you would think that for me, I was more interested in talking about like Goonies and Lord of the Rings, because both of those are like two of my favorite films. But I also like Rudy, but that wasn't one I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of people around that wanted to talk about Rudy, I noticed, and have Rudy memorabilia signed. So I thought that was kind of cool. Steelbook itself is, again, fine. Nothing too crazy. Again, Rudy's the type of movie, it's like I don't really know exactly what you can really do to make it an exciting steelbook out of it. So I think this one's fine. Naked Gun's coming to 4K. You're getting a steelbook, and this is the 35th anniversary. I'm never huge on the Naked Gun movies. I've seen a few on TV over the years. Never like my go-to comedies. They're only asking $28 for this one, so they're getting more into like a more reasonable. Once you get under $30 for these older movies coming to 4K, even if it's a steelbook, I think that's a little bit more in the pocket price-wise, I think. But yeah, Naked Gun's coming to steelbook, and we got Dragonball Super Super Hero, which is an interesting title. I still have not gotten around to see this one. I own all the other Dragon Ball Super movies behind me on a lot of Dragon Ball Z movies. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I like Dragon Ball Super. Some of the arcs were better than others, but I wanted to check this one out because it has Gohan getting a little bit of redemption, because I think they really ruined his character after the Cell saga. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but anyway, I still haven't seen this one, but I kind of want to go ahead and buy one of the steelbooks. So there's actually two steelbooks that are going to be offered. You've got this one from Amazon, and then you've got this one from Walmart. So you got Piccolo, and then you got Gohan. So it depends on, because both of them are prominent in this film, and there obviously is a basic 4K as well, which, it's fine. I mean, one of the things why I have not seen the movie was mainly because I wasn't really big on the animation style, the cell shading type of thing that they went through. I just think it looks kind of cheap. It just reminds me of like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, which I love that game, but I don't want to see a whole movie of that style. So I don't know, but people seem to like it, so I'm going to check it out eventually. And the final steelbook we're going to be talking about is WandaVision. The complete series is coming to steelbook. You can get this on Blu-ray or 4K. And, I did a video talking about Disney putting out this stuff on physical media. I just wish that their stuff was better. WandaVision, there's parts of the show that I liked. I wish the Marvel shows were better than they were, but to me, they're mediocre to terrible. So even though WandaVision's one of the better ones, it's still not anything I'm going to go back and revisit. So it's not one I'm going to pick up, but I do like the art for it. I just really wish this show was better than it was. All right, moving into some collections. We got the Police Academy collection coming to Blu-ray. They're asking $63 for this one.
And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
So pretty pricey. There's 7 films, so it's under $10 a film for each one. I wish that the packaging was better or the price point was a little bit cheaper. To me, it just looks like a basic Blu-ray box set, like one that holds multiple discs, obviously. But 7 films for $63 in a basic Blu-ray case, I don't know. I do like the art on the cover, though. I think the art's kind of cool. And honestly, I've only seen the first couple Police Academy ones. I mean, the first one's really the main one I've seen multiple times because I like that one. But, what do you guys think? Is this anything you guys are interested in? I don't know if anybody really talks about some of the Police Academy movies outside the first one. You got the complete series of Farscape. This is the 25th anniversary on Blu-ray. On Amazon, you can get it for $150, and on Best Buy, it's $170. So definitely a higher priced. This was previously released on Blu-ray, but has been out of print for a couple years. I never got into Farscape personally. It's been on my watch list, or my eventually I'm going to get to it list for a little while, because obviously I'm a big sci-fi fan. Star Trek, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I talk about it a lot on the channel. And, people who are Star Trek fans seem to like Farscape. So, I don't know. Eventually, I'm going to get around to checking this one out. And you got this massive Disney Legacy animated film collection Blu-ray that was in the news. I actually was planning on doing a a separate video on this at the time, like about a month ago or so. But, I was behind on videos and, I missed a couple weeks. So, by the time I was ready to do a video on it, people were kind of done talking about it. So, but it is coming out this month. My short thoughts on this, it's overpriced. The packaging looks terrible. Some of the ones that they've chosen to put in here, I just don't think they should have put in here. There's things that are missing from this set that I think that should have been in there. I am a big Disney fan, or rather was. The last 5 years, Disney's eroded most of my goodwill, for them. So, but anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that, other than to just say, I think it's overpriced, and you can get these movies individually almost for cheaper than buying this set. Nice thought to do a 100-year anniversary set, but execution, not so much.
Missed it by that much.
You got the Resident Evil Complete, collection coming to 4K. This is a Steelbook set. There's 6 movies, $170, and I think that is massively overpriced. I think these movies they have their fan base, obviously, because they've been around. But if you played the games, these are really nothing like the games. Yeah, I'm not personally a fan of it. I think at $170 for 6 movies on Steelbook, the Jurassic Park set was cheaper than this. And Jurassic Park is a huge franchise with a big fan base. I don't know how well this one's going to sell.
Definitely not good at all.
Twilight Saga. There's still, a big, fan base around these movies. I've actually seen a couple of them, believe it or not, whenever they first released. I got dragged to watching some of them. It is getting a Steelbook set release. They're asking $90 for this. It's 5 movies, so just compare that. The Twilight movies, you can get 5 of them for $90. Resident Evil's is 6 movies for $170. Maybe these price points will change prior to release. They may have already changed by the time I get this video up. But as of right now, those are the prices that are listed. But yeah, here's the Steelbook. So if you guys are excited, I guess, about the Twilight Saga Steelbooks, they are here. That's what I'm here to not only mention things I'm interested in, but some things that you guys might be interested in as well. And Clerks is getting a premium box set release, which is pretty cool. This obviously includes Clerks 1, 2, and 3. I really like the first Clerks movie, and I really like the second Clerks movie. I really hated Clerks 3. I actually, when I first watched Clerks 3, I filmed a video that was basically just me ranting about everything I didn't like about it. And, I never posted that video, but I still have the video file. Maybe one day I'll just randomly upload it where I'm ranting about Clerks 3. But anyway, the box set here looks really cool. I think it would be really awesome if it did not include Clerks 3. If Clerks 3 wasn't included in this, maybe I'd pick it up. I already own Clerks 1 and 2, but I do really like the look of it. I think it's a really cool premium box set. They're asking $130 for it. So again, it is definitely a premium box set. And there's a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse big box set that's coming out. And they're like, oh yeah, there's a 2-movie collector's edition. Obviously this movie released a couple months ago. I do actually already own it, and I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But the idea that they're going to release this $90 is crazy. It's crazy. There's really not enough here to justify that price tag. Not only that, I'm going to say the same thing I said in my Spider-Man video. And, some people took that as me being negative about the movie. I'm not being negative about the movie. I'm being negative about the packaging and the way it's released. It has nothing to do with the quality of the movie, right? The fact that they are releasing this in a 2-pack is really dumb when you already are going to have, this is a part 1. You have the first movie, and then the second movie is a part 1. So which means there's going to be other box sets. Wait until the second part's released, and then bundle stuff together and do bundle sales and have these premium packages. I just think that this is really, I don't know. I'm not going to say predatory, because if people buy it, then, people buy it. But for me personally, I don't like the idea of them releasing these bundle sets and these packages with basically incomplete story. No, it's an incomplete story because one of the movies is called a part 1. I feel like I'm being more negative than I intended on some of these collection sets. Generally, I like collections, but I don't like incomplete collections. Anyway, I'm done ranting about it. Rant over. And the final thing we're going to talk about here is the new releases. These are new movies coming out. These are movies that have been in theaters, a couple months ago, and now they're finally getting their release. This would be what would be on the new release wall in Blockbuster back in the day. And I'm not going to go into too much depth, but I'm going to try and cover all the things that are going to be offered here. Some of these things I'm going to go into way further depth on individual videos. One of them I've already filmed, Gran Turismo. I've already got that video up, so I go more in depth on that one. But let's talk about Oppenheimer first. To me, this is like the biggest release of the month for me. It's the one I'm the most excited about. So let's talk about that one first. It is obviously getting a basic Blu-ray and a basic 4K, same art they used for that. They're also getting a Steelbook, which is pretty cool. And then Walmart has basically a digibook style fold out, which is, is what it is. But anyway, so those are the options that are available for Oppenheimer. We also got Equalizer 3, which is got the Blu-ray. There's also a Walmart Blu-ray Steelbook here, as well as a 4K Steelbook. So there are a few options available for Equalizer 3. I don't think I'm going to do an individual video on this one. You also got Sound of Freedom coming out on Blu-ray. I don't really think there's much marketing in this movie coming out. So yes, it is coming out. And as far as I can tell, there's no 4K. It's just going to be a Blu-ray release. Then you got Gran Turismo, which again, I talked about in a separate video. You got the basic Blu-ray and the basic 4K. Conflicting information on what exactly the art they're actually going to, have for this, because, depending on what site you go on, they have different cover art listed, and we're less than a week out from release at this point. By the time this video goes up, it'll probably be on release day for Gran Turismo, so you guys will probably know which one it is that they decided to go with. But anyway, they got a 4K Steelbook as well as a Blu-ray Steelbook from Walmart. Then you got Expendables 4 coming out. I kind of heard some mixed reactions on this one. Mostly negative, so I don't know if I'm going to check it out personally, but it is having a basic Blu-ray. Then you got the basic 4K. There's a Steelbook coming out. You got an Amazon Steelbook that's exclusive, so that's pretty neat. And then you've got the collection Expendables 1 through 4 Steelbook coming out, and I will be doing a separate video on Expendables, the Expendables 4 release, even though I don't know how many people are interested in that release, because most of the things I heard about the movie are kind of negative, but there are some interesting options, at least, that are available if you're a physical media collector. And finally, we've got Saw X coming out. Yeah, I'm not into the Saw movies at all. Never liked the Saw movies. Not my type of movie at all, but Saw X is coming out, and for people who like Saw, they seem to like Saw X, so that one is coming out this month as well. Those are some of the releases that are coming out this month. I tried to cover a lot more than what I normally cover, so this video is going to be a little bit longer than my last few that talked about these monthly releases. I do these monthly releases mainly for subscribers. If you like looking at my analytics, most of the people who check out these videos are my subscribers, and so if you do like this video, please hit like. As long as you guys still want to see these, I will continue doing them. They do take a little bit more work than some of the other videos, just to track down all the stuff that's coming out and some of the price points and the cover art that's available. So, but I do it all to, again, I like to share some of the options available and talk about movies that maybe don't get any kind of spotlight. So anyway, this one was a lot of fun to do, and I formatted it a little bit differently. But again, thank you to everyone who checked out this video. Thank you, subscribers. All of you are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geechu64, and I'll always tell you the truth.